What's going on, guys? Getting towards the holidays. We got episode 21 here today. The usual suspects are with me. It's Goofy, it's Hunter, JJX. It's going to be a good time. Faisal, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Another Sunday night, another episode. It was a good week. I feel like I got a lot accomplished. As you guys remember, I was in the middle of a move. It's always stressful, but now it's coming to a point where everything's settled. And like you said, the holidays around the corner. So good times, good times. And NBA is starting 2 days. I got a couple fantasy. I got a couple drafts coming up tomorrow.
Nobody plays fantasy basketball.
Dude, it's fun. Honestly, don't sleep. Fantasy for NBA fans, just like obviously fantasy football is the holy grail. I can see like that's where fantasy really blew up. But it's fun. You get to watch random players. You get to. I know so many random stats and like tidbits about random players on teams. Like,
what do you do when your guy sits out?
What do you mean?
Like, people rest all the time, like the day of the game, like superstars.
So
like, that's a problem.
No, I agree that can be a thing, and that's taken into account when you're drafting. Like Kawhi Leonard, for example, like he's always
been draft him.
No, you do, but if he would be a first round pick in like any league, but he would be later on. I think you'd want to go for like the Giannis is first, or
the
maybe
Iron
like
Man.
Even Luka. Like Luka would be a sick, like a high pick
Luka's
this
nasty.
season,
Okay.
So, or like Steph Curry, James Harden, like these kind of guys.
Okay, there's some things like in football that you kind of go around with that, like what division do they play in and whatnot. So I could see how it works.
But yeah, it's fun. But so yeah, it's been a good week. Got some fun stuff to look forward to with the holidays around the corner, New Year, getting ready to finally get past 2020. I know for a lot of people out there watching and listening, I know it was a tough year. Me, speaking for myself, it was definitely tough too. But like everyone, we're persevering, we're pushing through, and ready to turn over a new leaf and have a good year.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
There you go.
Absolutely. JJX, tell me how your week's been.
It's been good. Just kind of recovering from COVID here, obviously at my house. Hanging out a little bit with the boy now that I'm able to like spend time with my kid. I've just been making up on so much lost time, dude. We've just been sitting around just playing all day, every day. Dad life is rad. It's the most fun thing ever. It's like everything is new, everything is fresh, right? I got to comment on basketball because it's coming back up, like Faisal said. And Faisal, we got to just be perfectly honest. The reason why Wes, plain and simple, Wes just doesn't have the melanin to be fully invested in basketball like we are. You know what I mean? He's
what?
Let's get the dictionary pulled up.
He's got to get in on he's got melanin. What is it? In the wrong word?
I don't know what he's.
I'll let you come back with whatever.
He's not brown enough, anyways. Is all I was saying, to be fully invested in basketball like we are.
I'm probably better than both of you in basketball.
Wait, why am I getting attacked right now? What did I say?
If both of you stood under a goal, I guarantee you I could dunk on both of you.
Hey man, I'll be Steph Curry with a shot on you. You
I
wouldn't
would
cross you up, step
nurse
back.
that arm back to health first before you come talking to either of us, bro. Get yourself back healthy. Get
the
yourself
right arm
back.
is just fine, and that's the one I'm slamming it down with. So.
Once you're back fully 100%, and we're at some events, we'll settle this for sure. But
I will snap both y'all's ankles, and I'll feel so bad when y'all are on crutches walking up to the stage.
What happened? Clutch crossed me up.
Oh my knees.
Wes backed me down in the paint.
No, but you're gonna experience dad life there. I promise you.
I'm doing good though, man. Glad to kind of be getting my health back little by little. Fun week of Halo, which we'll dive into. But I want to know how you're doing, Wes. Holidays are coming up. I know you got holiday plans and all that, so break it down for the people.
Super excited. I actually leave tomorrow at midnight to go back home, hang out with the family, the boys, and most importantly, see my dad. I hadn't seen him in over a year. He's had a lot of health troubles this year, shoulder and knee surgeries, all sorts of stuff that should have killed him, I think. And somehow Superman is still alive. So I'm going to get to see him, spend some quality time, have some whiskey with him, and kick back, watch some football, just enjoy some time off too.
You love that.
Absolutely.
Love that. Very cool, very cool. Well, I guess we've got a pretty fun topic today. We were brainstorming different ideas. We always want to bring you guys something fresh and fun. And by the way, if you guys have ideas for topics you want covered on the show, be sure to drop them in the YouTube comments or tweet at us on my X show. Let us know what you guys want to see. But for today, we're gonna do a little something special. We're gonna jump into Faisal. What are we doing?
You wanna do the 2v2 recap?
Oh shoot!
First,
where'd my brain at? COVID brain. It's not even my job to intro the topic. That's gonna be phased.
Is it
later.
not?
But no, I'm doing the recap. So
Okay,
we're gonna recap. We're gonna recap.
Just keep it going, man. Come
Chalk
on.
it up.
What are we doing?
All right, we're gonna recap. First, the HCS is obviously in the off season right now, but we still had some fun Halo action this weekend. The Esports Arena tournament is still running right now, so unfortunately we don't have the results for that to discuss. But this weekend we did have a massive PennHalo 2v2 tournament. It started on Saturday with an open bracket, double elimination. Over 100 people signed up, and it was the top 8 teams from that qualified for the championship bracket today, which is Sunday. Coming out on top, we had, Wes tells me to not start at the top, so we'll start like a little bit.
At least some suspense.
Yeah, we'll leave some suspense. I actually played in it with commonly. It was I don't even know if I've ever played in
at the
2v2.
bottom.
Yeah, we'll start with me at the bottom. I don't know if I've ever even played in a 2v2 tournament, but so I played with
I'm
commonly.
honestly salty. I didn't play in it. I chose.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't play.
Yeah.
We ended up getting 5th, 6th. We took down some good teams though. We beat Boo Boo and Tusk, and then beat Straight Sick and Nikoski after that. So we kind of,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we
good dubs.
we established ourselves as belonging there, so that was good. We got 5th, 6th. The other team that got 5th, 6th though was a shocker. It was Dog 7, the Legend, and Obnoxious. Dog 7, if you guys don't know, is probably the nastiest keyboard and mouse player I've ever seen. The clips this guy posts are insane.
I would say he's definitely one of the best mouse and keyboard players in Halo MCC, Halo 3 right now.
Yeah, is what I mean. We don't see a lot of people come out mouse and keyboard, especially at a high level, and compete. They took down some teams, man. They took down some really good teams. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they beat who was it? They actually beat Straight Sick and Shelly in the winners bracket. So they were doing their thing. Yeah, and they went to game 3 against Ryan and Rain, like down to the wire. So these guys were some solid 2v2 players. Then moving on
you're
up,
telling me Dog 7?
Dog 7, the Legend, bro. Keyboard and mouse, he's just out there doing his thing.
Streets are,
What's going on nowadays, dude?
I think they need Professor Pitt back, man.
Some of y'all gotta get a grip, is all I'll say.
Where have you been? Why do you Halo, Mr. Halo 3 guy himself? Why don't you never play Halo 3 anymore? You're just over it or what?
He doesn't want to tarnish his reputation.
I know you play a lot of Valorant. Right? You play a lot of Valorant, or
I'm on a Valorant grind, and unfortunately, I'm addicted to the Rift, and it's a serious problem that I'm hoping to get over because this addiction is not a healthy one. Because Royal2 and I are very close, and when close friends play League of Legends together, nothing good happens.
Yeah, League and Valorant are like your two main games right now, right?
Wes is fully sold on Riot Games. All the Riot games, Wes is in on.
So we're having fun. There's a lot of personal attacks on a nightly basis that we have to get through, but and we're improving. I think we're improving. And I could be making this up. We might be getting worse, but yeah, I'm on that. I'm all in on that. I've played more Halo 3 than probably just about anybody on the planet. So I'm kind of other than Lethal. I think he's passed me by now.
Oh yeah, he's got to be number 1 in terms of just amount of Halo 3 played.
Yeah, but I like to watch. Obviously, I get the itch to compete every now and then, but it's like unless I put in the time and I can represent myself correctly.
I feel that. Like you would need to actually play the game for a little while to be playing against these people that are playing it all the time now, right?
Yeah, it's like when I was playing 8s. I started off kind of rough back in the day when we started playing 8s when MCC.
Those are fun 8s.
And I started off and I was like not happy with how I was playing, and then all of a sudden I got back to back on my BS, and I'm like, yo, who wants?
That's back when Master Fear would be playing all. Dude, Master Fear was nasty, dude.
That's my dog.
Shout out Abdul. Abdul, if you're watching this podcast, shout out to you, man. I hope you're doing well out there.
Master Fear.
And Saudi. These kids are lucky that he moved across the globe,
man,
because he was doing some special. Folks.
Master Fear was like my cloud. Like
he was good, bro.
Me and him would just run stuff together, and I was like, "Yo, you are just like Scotty used to be. Like, it hits every shot, just does incredible things, opens up the map for me, and I get good stats because of it." So.
Yeah, he's nasty. Anyways, let's continue. Let's continue.
Yeah, we drifted away somewhere.
Yeah. So 4th place, like I said, 5th, 6th was Dog 7, Legend, Obnoxious, and then myself and commonly. 4th place was Gun Type and Fantasy. No surprise there. Those dudes are nasty at 2s. That's actually who we lost to in winners. And then 3rd place, a little bit of a shocker. 3rd place was Lethal and Gilkey. So a little bit below where you would expect. They were in the finals last time around.
They barely lost in the finals too last time.
Yeah, so they got third. Second place was Trippy and Catastrophe. So your champions from the last 2v2 were the runner-ups. So that leaves someone that's always a thorn in the side of the HCS pro community, who came in for a little 2v2 dub. Rain and Ryan Noob ended up clutching up and winning. They went to game 5 multiple times. They went to game 3 against us. They really had to grind it out. They came from the losers bracket and they were able to make it happen. So nothing but props to them. Basil, is it surprising to you seeing Ryan Noob win a 2v2 tournament?
No, I mean, it's still Halo 3, still the same maps. Strategies are different, but they've played, they competed in the last one together. So they got their kinks out there because they didn't perform that well in the first one. I think they lost a couple of teams they definitely shouldn't have lost to. But this time around, they're good players and they had some close wins. So it's not surprising, just because I think by no means is there a clear favorite in these things. I mean, if I had to give it to one team, probably Trippy and Catastrophe, just because those two are specifically known for their 2v2 skill set, and they play together, even like regular radar doubles all the time. But I mean, I think as players, Ryan Noob out of that group of 4 is the best Halo 3 player. In that, if between Ryan Noob, Trippy, and Catastrophe, the best Halo 3 player is Ryan Noob, in my opinion. So they already have. But as far as, and then Rain is probably right there with the rest of the. Rain and Trippy are probably in the same, in my eyes. I mean, this is by no means gospel, but to me, like Rain and Trippy are in the same kind of field. And then Catastrophe in 2v2s, maybe you could put him higher, but generally I think he's kind of the one that would need to step up big. So yeah, it's not surprising that two established players like Rain and Ryan win. I think that's I expect those guys to be in the contention. So shout out to them.
Yeah, I was explaining on stream today that like folks do not know what Ryan was like, especially if he came into the Halo scene more recently. They always think of him as the objective mastermind, this and that. But dude, back in Halo 3, like back in actual Halo 3, 2008 to 2010, like he was a gunner, man. Incredibly talented. Ryan can do whatever it takes to win. You just see him do objective because he's teamed with the Blazes and Lethals of the world. But that guy can really do whatever it takes to get it done.
I think when I think of Ryan, I think of like a jack of all trades. I mean, when I remember the first time I ever saw him play was at a combine. Guy was dropping 80 kills in every free for all. Like, I mean, he was a freak in free for all. So the individual skill was there. When he plays 4s, he's more focused on playing correctly and not necessarily on slaying. And it doesn't really shock me to hear that those two won because, like, no matter what game type or setting that those guys are in, like Rain's the same kind of a quality that Ryan is. Like, they're cut from a very similar cloth. They don't play similar styles, but they both play with the same mindset. So it's no shocker that they're able to like find out how to use teamwork and figure out what the strategy is behind the 2v2s and have success doing it, because those guys are probably quicker to pick up on metas and understanding the situation that they're in and what the right play is, more so than a lot of other players that just use their gun skill to get out of it or whatnot. And I mean, Rain's nasty, like absolutely nasty. When that guy's on, it's like he puts on highlight reels on like some of your favorite pros. So shout out to those guys. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to them. So there you have it, guys. Rain and Ryan taking home the PennHalo 2-2, which, by the way, shout out to PennHalo. It's my first time doing anything with them, and tournament was really well run. It was on time. It was double elimination. Super easy to get in touch with them. Everything was
it
really
through Facebook
clear.
again?
No, it was through Discord and Challenge. So it was like they did a Challenge bracket, and then they had like Discord for reporting.
I should have played in it, man.
How many teams were there total?
There was. It was maxed out, so it was like 32 on Saturday, 32 AM teams, and then on Sunday it was only 16. It was 8 pro teams and 8.
We're talking about saying 100 teams or something. Didn't you say something?
No, 100
like that
players, over 100 players. So it was like
32 would be 64.
Someone said well, it's 32 plus. Well, I guess it'd be 32 plus the 8, so it would be what, 76 then?
No,
but
because it would be the same.
More.
It would be 8 teams from the 32, right?
Yeah, but then there's 8 teams already waiting. So it would be
40
teams.
So 80 teams, so 80 people.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the
just
open
throwing out numbers, bro. 100 talking about 100 players.
I just saw like they had tweeted, PennHalo had tweeted that they had like over 100 competitors. So I don't know, maybe the open bracket. I think the open bracket might have had some extra teams that were like added in. But yeah, they did a really good job running it, and they had their own broadcast going and stuff. So really cool to see another, sort of, just TO jump in and say, hey, we'll throw some fun Halo tournaments. And yeah, Faisal, we definitely missed you, bro. I was shouting out the Goof Troop. I was like, where's the Goof Troop? The Goof Troop is not represented. So you'll have to be there next time. But anyways, let's jump into our main topic. It's a fun one. Go ahead, Faisal.
Yeah. So for today's topic, and like Wes said, he's going to be leaving tomorrow night. So today's Sunday. We're recording episode 20. We're actually going to record
21.
episode 21.
No, we're on 21
That's the
right
plan right now. No, we're on 21. I apologize. We're on 21 right now. We're actually going to record episode 22 tomorrow, hopefully, if everything goes well. So, and that episode will be posted the following Monday. So we're going to just come up with a couple topics that we think we're going to be fun and something we can kind of dive into a little bit and the community would enjoy. So today's topic is going to be your favorite Halo montage. So all three of us are going to go around, starting with myself. I'm gonna just think about, when we thought about this for a while before we turned the camera on to start recording, or before we hit that record button, we were talking about some good montages, some options in the running for the title, I guess. And there was a lot, a bunch of good ones to pick from. And even though I am a Halo 3 kid, and that's where the love for my Halo, my Halo love started, I guess. But my choice is actually a Halo Reach montage. It is the Lethal and Formal, the Avengers, edited by the one and only Muggsy. This montage for me was because I knew to both of these guys personally. I had teamed with both of them in some capacity in the past, and had success with both of them. So I knew, how this watching, and we have it playing here in the bottom right corner. No sound, unfortunately, for what is it, DMCA, right? Yeah, so we got to be careful. We can't play the sound, but we wanted to pull up the video for you guys. It's like a 20-minute montage, so I don't know if we'll be able to watch through all of it, but yeah, man. So like I was saying, this montage just was full of nasty clips, filled with amazing editing. Again, shout out to Muggsy. And two of the best players Halo has ever seen. Obviously, you got Lethal, arguably the GOAT. When people talk about Ogre 2, you got to throw Lethal's name in there too, with everything he's done, obviously, in his Halo career. So you got Lethal, and then you got the man himself, Formal. Y'all know how much of a fan I am of this kid, and how nasty I think he was at Halo, especially Halo Reach. Obviously, Halo 4, he won a lot of tournaments too, but Halo Reach, this kid was disgusting. Just looking at some of these, just nothing but disgusting snipe clips and just power position plays. And yeah,
we gotta talk about we gotta talk about the name of the montage is the Avengers. I think Wes has got a little insight on that.
One and only Captain Clutch was actually
name,
on
Wes?
the original Avengers roster. So let me give you a breakdown, Wes. I'll pass it to you, but there was the team that was formed by Captain Clutch, the Avengers. It was Clutch, Formal, Lethal, and APG, and these guys
nasty.
These guys were nasty, and obviously that's so the montage name the Avengers stems from their little group that they had in Reach. And Wes, go ahead and tell the people about it.
Yeah, we put this team together when MLG stopped throwing Halo 5 events, and
Halo 5
or Halo Reach events. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was more so just a group of like pretty close friends. I know we played like WoW together, and we did that for like probably 3-4 weeks. We played League of Legends together, and that was one of the most toxic environments I've ever been a part of. And you throw Cloud in there and Maniac, so it was just absolute. We had some good times together, but these guys were obviously nasty. I would like to say that a lot of these clips weren't possible without my clear comms and great communication skills for them to be able to know where to look after getting the doubles. So I'm gonna keep my pride on that. But in all seriousness, no, we were nasty as a team, dude. We never lost up until the time where it was to go to a tournament. Unfortunate situation where nobody touched the flag but me. In our window on Countdown when there was one person alive, but I'm not going to call any names out. They know who
what
they
tournament
are.
was this? And
what was that? It was in Knoxville, whatever those were.
AGL.
And we got third. We made Roy go -20. It was absolutely insane. We played like Roy and Flame, and then we actually lost the series. But we made Roy go -20 on pit flag in game 1, and I was just like, did we really? Like, I literally hit the back button and saw Roy went -20, and my jaw just drops. I'm like, what did we just do to them?
No,
I'm actually trying to figure out how you
these
guys
clips
lost.
are insane
yeah,
right now.
dude,
Look at
I'm
that
watching.
atrocity.
I'm telling you how we lost. No, there was a flag down in our window. There was one person alive. There was 2 players in our window that I will not name.
Not
I
one,
believe,
but 2.
I believe neither one of them was APG at the time. Maybe one of them wasn't lethal. I know Formal was one. But anyways, good times with these guys. Absolute monsters in Halo. I mean, getting to team with them, even though we didn't win the tournament like we wanted to, like all the fun we had, man. It was a good time. Good friends, and
Oh,
we've
there
seen
goes
what they've
Clutch
done since
getting
that in their
outshot
career.
for an overkill. Just
I did not
blasted
get out.
away.
Rewind that. No one got outshot.
Dude, these clips, I've been watching them, they're disgusting. Like,
Dude,
Well, I mean, there's a reason you picked this, right? Like, you're a Halo 3 guy through and through, and you picked a Reach montage, which for me was surprising for your pick, and now I understand why. I mean, these clips are ridiculous, dude. Like,
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
people
I
on the
mean,
podcast, like, you got to turn on the YouTube version of this episode and watch this montage with us, because
And the best thing about it is it's all extremely high difficulty against good people, like
Yeah.
competitive. Like these are the nastiest clips you'll see in any Reach montage, and they're on like the best players that they could be on. You know?
That's the thing about these two is that like I scrimmed them the entire time Reach was out. I mean, they were at the top. I was towards the top as well, and like we would just scrim each other probably on a weekly basis. And it was every fucking time I scrimmed them. Sorry for my language, but like I just remember Lethal getting a nasty triple or Formal getting an overkill and just being like, Jesus, he just hit that.
That's me.
So it's like
That was you.
Yeah.
so it's a joy to see like the montage put together, but
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Sean,
scrimming against them,
it's
you
me
could see
again,
them
bro.
Dude, you just got freaking montage, you noob. Oh my god. No, I'm playing.
Oh man,
That's definitely. In my opinion, it was a tough choice, and at the end of our 3, I'm gonna pass it to Wes actually eventually, and he'll give his pick. But at the end of our 3 picks, we're gonna actually have a one montage that all 3 of us collectively agreed was just at the top of the list for us. But obviously this one is right up there as well. Look at those nasty overkills. Some of the stuff I do not miss though about early reach, the sprint with the bloom.
You couldn't get slowed down with sprint, so you're just like gunning it no matter what. You're just living like at least with Halo 5 and Halo 4 they made it so you got like staggered, like you would get slowed down. But this game you would just see people just football sprinting,
and people just
running,
thrusting and sprint, evading. Oh my god.
There's so many kill attacks and kill atrocities in this montage in 4v4. That's insane. All right, we gotta move on. Let's go to Wes's pick. Wes, go ahead and walk us through what your pick for favorite montage was.
Yeah, when I think of montages, I think of like when I was on the come up and something that would inspire me to play more, to get clips, to improve as an individual. And at the time, there was nobody better than the guy that made my favorite montage, that's Shook One. Shook One, literally, it was named the Revolution. He revolutionized montages, in my opinion. I would watch his montages probably once a day when I was getting ready to play Halo 2 and just get better. And I remember he always had like Eminem playing. He had the Gorillas. He had just banger after banger, and he's just getting clips on like top pros. They were disgusting, and like I feel like the editing skills that he had were probably so far like before his time. So there was a lot that went into it. If you ask anybody that was like a big fan of montages back then, like they'll tell you about Shook One and how he was just such a, like when he dropped the montage, everybody was raving about it. And no specific one in mind. We're watching the Revolution. I believe this is the 3rd one he made, but like it's just highlight reels, man. And I remember like he defined what a montage is to me.
Oh yeah, I remember this was like during you remember HaloPro.com, Wes? This was like the HaloPro.com days where they would break it down. It was like pro montages and it would be like semi-pro montages and montages, and everyone was trying to like climb the ladder. And obviously anytime Shook came out with something, it was like top of the page, pro section, like what you would look up to. And I think you nailed it when you said like coming up. I think anyone that came up during Halo 2 remembers the way montages made us feel, right? Like there was nothing like right before you get on, going on the forums or going on HaloPro.com, downloading a new montage, because it wasn't just like you could just pull it up on YouTube and watch it. Like downloading a new montage, checking it out, and like that like passion, that fire that would build up. And like Shook One, I think he really like set himself apart because of the swagger to it, right? Like you mentioned it, like he
Yeah.
had like these bangers going, and we all knew like at the events, like he was one of the coolest cats that you would see. Like he was always vibing, and he's still doing that to this day. I mean, if you guys don't know, like Shook One is like a massive IRL streamer now. He just adventures around the world and has people watching him. So he's definitely stuck with his brand, and yeah, he's been absolutely killing it. I know Faisal, this is a little bit before your time, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
Halo 2 montages were so much fun, man. I mean, there's no theater, so they're all getting captured live. So you're seeing this stuff like as it was happening for them. A lot of the times you would hear like the comms in his montage of his teammates calling out to him and stuff. There's something like about that live energy that I think is so cool and so special.
Well, he would like
No,
would like
that's-
transition. He would transition in between songs with like something funny or like a clip.
Yeah, like a skit
of,
or
like,
something.
Like I know, like one of his montages open up with like a message. It's like, "Hey man, I really wanted. Like I sent you a friend request. I really just wanted to add you and maybe meet you one day. Like
Like
I'm a
some
big fan-
Eminem, Slim Shady.
I'm a big
like,
fan." And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
Eminem kicks in, and it's like,
yeah.
like it created a vibe. Like nobody created a vibe in their montage like Shook One did.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
it. Like you said, Justin. Unfortunately, this was before my time, and I know this was what a lot of people consider the golden age for Halo, with Halo 2, and this is when like that it really took off as far as competitive gaming and what 4v4 competition was, and the extents at which people like people's true passion for this stuff. So yeah, I mean, for me, like I didn't get into Halo and competitive Halo to Halo 3, so I'm gonna let y'all really carry the conversation here. But I mean, yeah, I know, I know Shook
yeah.
One. Like even as a Halo 3 kid, I know Shook One, and I know the significance, like, and the impact he had with like his montages. So
Yeah, my random Shook One story is the first time I ever made Pro Bracket. It was my second event. It was Dallas 07. After we lost the final boss round one, our awesome round one losers bracket matchup that we got blessed to play was round one losers versus Shook One Gaming. It was like, what the heck, like. But those dudes were nasty. Somehow they lost their round one, so we matched them round one. My first time ever making pro. I'm like, dude, I'm playing nothing but legends this event, and we didn't have a coach, and we were like, dude, we need to get a coach like ASAP. So we like went to our friends who were competing. One of our friends that was competing in Gears, and we were like, dude, like come coach us. Like, and if you guys know anything about Gears back in the day, what those guys were like, it was
Those guys were
different.
wild.
It was a different crew, man. Like our coach came over with like a freaking towel, and he was like ready to rock. And I mean, we got 3-0'd in this series, but I kid you not, our coach pretty much the entire series was just yelling at Shook One Gaming, the other team, like, y'all look like a bunch of posers. He was like, Vegeta, you got a 5-head. I was like, dude, we're losing this series. Like, you can't be talking like this. But that was literally how he was going the whole series. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, not to get off track too far, but I watched the Gears of Wars guys put some poor kid's head through a hotel wall at Chicago 06. Those guys were a different breed at tournaments. That's a story for another time. But yeah, I mean, it's Jesse was like one of the cool. I remember the first time I ever met Shook One too. Sorry, his name's Jesse, but it was after I won Nats 09. The next event was the first event in 2010, and it's like Thursday, and I'm with like a bunch of the MLG guys. I know we're just hanging out like in the hotel lobby or whatnot, and Shook One like comes up, and like he's like hanging out with the same crew, and I like walked up to him. I go, "Hey man, I just like wanted to say like I've always been a big fan. You really inspired me like back in the day. Like I used to root for Shook One Gaming. I had Vegito on my friends list. Like I thought that they were like the coolest cats on the building. I always root for them at tournaments." And he goes, "I know who you are, dude. You're fucking clutch." I was like, "Dude." Like that was like a sick moment for me to be like, yes, like
nice.
Shook One knows who I like, and I like Shook One was like an idol to like people back then. Like the swagger that he had, putting out content before anybody ever did some like sort of content, like regularly, and he was always like super nice, super chill, funny as can be. And he was a gamer too, man. He was getting top 4, top. I don't know if he ever got top 3. I think he did get top 3 maybe once, but they could game.
Yeah, I like I said, I would put him in that same conversation with like early on, like some of the ambassadors that were like, man, you could really get behind them and their brand, like that really went the extra mile in working. Like when you talk about hustling outside of like just playing and going to tournaments, I mean, Shook One he put out so many montages, was putting out video content, always like active on the forum. So like he just really hustled it, and I think that he was someone that MLG could really be proud of. And he was just a rad dude, like you said. So Great memories of that guy and these montages. So
Now we got to go on to Justin's pick.
we got to go to my pick. I know, Wes picked the Halo 2 montage. Faisal picked the Halo 2 montage. And surprise, I picked the Halo 2 montage
Halo
as
Reach,
well.
you mean?
Oh, yeah. You picked the Halo Reach montage. My favorite montage of all time. Yeah, it definitely is. I'm going to throw it up here. It is Eli the Ninja and Hysteria, the Wicked End in Halo 2. This, for me, is like peak Halo 2 in the sense of like how good players are able to get while Halo 2 ran its course, right? I think obviously now players are better, having played the game for an extra decade or whatever, but this montage came out like right at the end of Halo 2, right before the transition to Halo 3 happened. And at this point in time, I mean, Hysteria and Eli were just like in a class of their own. You can see it from the clips right here. We have, I believe this is a Hysteria clip right there. Getting like back in the day when you saw anyone get a montage clip on FB in Halo 2, it was like okay, like that doesn't happen. You never would see that, And at this point in time, Hysteria and Eli were just nasty. Eli obviously had all of the button glitches and stuff like that, which is one of the things that really connected me with him early on. Funny story, like the reason why he even added me or even noticed me was it was like Dallas, that first event that I made pro bracket. He noticed that I was like double shotting and stuff on main stage when I was playing, and he was like, man, like you actually have the balls to go for that in tournaments. A lot of people, they would do all that stuff online, but because of the risk when it came to LAN, they just kind of would shy away from it. So Eli kind of was one of those early players to really like show me some love and help me get in lobbies and connect me with the bigger like pro scene. And so I'll always be thankful to him for that. But on top of that, his montages were just nasty. This is Hysteria's POV right here though. And it was like, dude, I mean, people know Hysteria from Halo 3, right? But that wasn't when the process started. This man in Halo 2 in playlist was a nightmare. Go ahead, Wes.
He was my nightmare. There was at the end of Halo 2, there were very few people that were beating me in matchmaking. Hysteria and Cloud were the two that used to just run the table with me. It was like these guys I thought were the best in the game at the time. Like it didn't make sense to me because I would play against everybody, and I would play against Hysteria and Cloud and be like, no, these guys are better than like everyone else I play. And they're not getting like
they're nasty. I mean, Hysteria and Cloud, I can imagine. At the end of Halo 2,
their Halo 3 careers make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can see it coming from a mile away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I was like, those guys are insane. The only problem they had was they teamed with this guy named like I. And every time that I played them in matchmaking and saw him on their team, I was like, we have a chance. But if they didn't have him, I was like, we're getting steak.
Yeah, I remember like, dude, back then, like trying to get matches at that high level, because I was like a 42 or 43 in the hardcore playlist, and I would search a lot with Hysteria, Frosty the Truth, and like Cloud or whoever would play with us. And I remember I would literally just be falling asleep on the headset, like as we're trying to get box host for 3 hours, and they would just be screaming in the mic when we finally got a game to like tell me to like actually play, because dude, it was such fishy waters with all the freaking cheating and everything else. It took so long to get like legit high level hardcore games, but when you did, it was like you waited so long for this match, now it matters. And let me tell you, Hysteria pretty much every time would always show up when it mattered. This guy, yeah, he was absolutely disgusting. And then Eli, man, I mean, Eli is one of those people where Halo 2, you could just tell he loved it. I mean, it was a game that like really connected with him in his heart, and I still keep in touch with him to this day. He's one of the first people to help me kind of understand mentality-wise. I'll never forget the most important lesson that Eli ever taught me was actually, we were teaming. I can't remember if it was Halo 3 or Halo Reach when we were teaming, and he taught me this, but I used to get angry like over plays that didn't go my way or dying when I didn't want to die or whatever, and like I would like rage like the usual. And I remember Eli one time saying to me, he was like, dude, Justin, he was like, we're playing a first-person shooter, brother. And he's super like calm monk status, just one of the nicest dudes ever meet. He used to always be like that, but he would tell me, he was like, we're playing a first-person shooter, brother. Part of the game is dying. You're just gonna die. It's okay. It's part of the game. Get it on at your next life. And I remember hearing that and being like, you're right, actually. Like I actually get that. Like, yeah, I am gonna die, and that's okay. And like, let me pick it up next time, So, always trying to help the players around him come up and make everyone better. And, even though Halo 3 wasn't his favorite game when that transition happened, he was still, Faisal and I were talking about it, he was still getting top 8 early on, like the first year with that Ambush Squad. Ambush Squad, right? It was like Eli, Gunshot, Pistola, and I forget who their fourth was. It like Toxic, one of those players? I can't remember.
It was Powwow or Toxic or something.
Was it a team with Silent and Snipe down the first event and got top 8?
Oh, yeah. That was... And
beat me
then
in on.
Snipedown joined TD, and then he joined straight, dude. Snipedown's journey was and now he's killing it. But
that team beat me on Onslaught Slayer 50-49.
Oof. Onslaught Slayer.
Game 5.
Damn, no ice, Wes.
I didn't.
It's not Wes's fault. I was gonna say it wasn't Wes's fault.
It's never Wes's fault, is it?
He didn't die last.
I mean, if I died,
miss the last
yeah, it's my fault, but didn't die. So I actually got a kill as my teammate died. So
no, that's the worst, bro.
We're gonna go ahead and blame Effie the Box, as I've done multiple times on stream, and we're gonna move on.
I remember him.
All these names that just kind of faded away. Yeah, go ahead, Faisal.
Yeah, no. So we've had started with the Reach montage. Now obviously with Wes and Justin's picks being Halo 2, but like I mentioned to start off the segment, we did have a unanimous pick for all three of us that we felt really set the standard for what a montage means and what the impact that it had.
Real quick, before we do that,
Justin.
Before we give it the grand finale, let's just go around the table and do our honorable mentions real fast. We don't need to go into them super long, but we kind of chatted about it before. Do you remember what yours was, Faisal, or should I just go right off the rip?
I was joking. My funny honorable mention was that Neighbor and Hysteria duotage that they had in Halo 3. Now, obviously, as players, they were nasty, right? Neighbor and Hysteria ran. No, I don't want to say they ran it, but they were two of the top players throughout the entirety of Halo 3's competitive timeline. But man, these two dropped. If y'all haven't seen it, go to YouTube and search the Hysteria Neighbor.
I gotta pull it up, dude. I wasn't going to, but I gotta pull up the beginning at least, bro.
It's funny, man. They tried to do something different, there's some IRL shots or in person, where they set the camera and it's like a director's cut. They're waking up out of bed and going for runs and smiling at the camera. The neighbor's got a girl in his bed wearing his jersey.
He's having nightmares. He's having nightmares about losing.
He's having nightmares. And then he gets a call. He gets a call by Hysteria. We should make this happen. Let's do it. He's sweating. Halo 3 forum. Shout out to them. They were the shit back in the day.
Dude, he's going for jogs, bro.
Go for a jog. He stopped this where he smiles at the camera. Yeah, keep running, baby. Keep pushing.
He's got the nice car. He's got the girl. This montage is way more about the lifestyle.
This is Hysteria now.
Precious.
Cuddles.
He's snuggling on the couch while.
Damn.
Oh, shoot.
See, so we're getting places. This is PG.
This is not a montage. Get this off. These guys are clowns.
We had to talk about that one.
We had to mention that one. Yeah,
that was my honorable mention.
My honorable mention. It's one of two. I mean, obviously, being the Halo 2 kid that I am, the Walshy montage. I mean, I think we all remember the moment when that dropped and what that did. Just incredible. And then I gotta give a shout out to that hyena dude. Whatever that dude puts out in Halo 3 is just insane. Jumping off icicles and just kind of viewing the game in a different way. So those are kind of my honorable picks. Wes, you got anything for us before we do our main event?
I think Best Man's was definitely solid. I know Best Man
he had a nasty montage.
He was a nasty individual, and it's unfortunate he wasn't able to get that tournament win. Because if you ask me, he's one of the guys that when you ask the best that never won, Best Man's definitely up there because Best Man was nasty.
Those guys,
and I love teaming with Best Man. Defy kind of won that Slayer tournament with Straight Ribbon. So
Best Man and Defy were just a nasty, consistent, all-around duo.
Best Man was so annoying to play against, though.
Yeah,
he was.
Best Man was that guy that was
brain is so big.
I just remember so many different. When I think about Best Man, I'm like, Best Man is my power up. It's like I'm spawn on Narrows, my cannon. It's like Best Man's our power up, one shot. I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna find him because every time I go look for him, he's magically just gone. And then I'm getting shot in the back 5 seconds later. I'm like, Best Man was
I'm not going down there. I'm not even gonna bother.
I'm leaving him because if I go down there and look for him, he knows exactly apparently what my routes he was walling, and he would just figure out a way to play the situation perfect. He was
what a nice guy too, though. Outside of the game, oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
He had a nasty Halo. He had a nasty montage in H3. If you haven't seen it, the Best Man montage. So that's a great honorable mention. Honestly, that's a good one.
I'm a big Best Man fan.
The main event, Faisal. Hit us with the honors, brother.
Wait, did you give your honorable mention?
I did.
Yeah, you did. Walshy, of course.
Yeah.
So we now to finish out the show, we are going to talk about our unanimous between us three here on My X. The montage we think took the cake here, and that of course is a Halo 3 straight ripping montage. Man, this thing, the production on it, the timing for when it released, the team that it was representing, obviously the Dr. Pepper
They're
sponsorship
flexing
they
Dr.
had at the
Pepper.
time.
Woo!
Who was edited by Snipetality, I believe, right? So
Yeah.
obviously big time editor now, 100 Thieves, like Nate Shot and all these guys. So he made it way up there. MLGpro.com, if you know, you
Dude.
know. The forums, we're going crazy when this dropped. So we're gonna go around really quick and talk about, what this montage meant for each of us. For me, just quickly, this montage, man, I was such a big straight ripping fan, and like I said, Halo 3 is really where I gained my love for Halo and competitive gaming. And for what a lot of people Final Boss was to them, I feel like straight ripping almost was like that for me, where they definitely weren't as dominant. I know people are probably gonna be mad that I even put them in the same league as Final Boss, and I'm not saying in terms of like their dynasty, but I mean just in terms of like what their impact was for me at the time, especially when this dropped. Legit LMI Warrior, Snipe Down, T Squared, and they each have such nasty clips. The editing was sick, and I remember this fun story. The first time I ever was on a pro team, it was on End Result. So something happened with their roster. They were a pro team, and one of their fourth at the time couldn't make it. So it was Call Me God, Thuggish, Killa at Mad Max asked me. Yeah, shout out Mad Max. They asked me, and I was a complete, I was 13, 14 at the time. Goofy barbecue still, I believe, like really early in my Halo career. But I had played against them in Constellation, and like I'd gotten like 19th place my second tournament ever, like back in 2009, when it was like actually hard to kind of get up there. There's like complete random people that I got it with. I'm sorry, I take that back. It wasn't complete random people. It was on Team Severance. It was like Monix, Advent, and Crucify. I don't know if you guys remember like those names back. Or I mean, the West definitely won't,
Tanner,
but just
Advent,
you might.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I remember those guys.
Yeah. So I came up. The tournament at Columbus, 2009. We got 19th, and we got picked up by End Result. And I don't know, I'm kind of rambling. My point is they were invited to go to the Straight Rippin' House in Florida to land before our tournament. So it was literally such a life moment for me. First of all, I got picked up by a pro team. Secondly, like the 3 days after, we're taking a flight to Florida to go stay at Straight Rippin's mansion in Florida, and I'm getting to hang out with people I looked up to like crazy, like in terms of like, dude, I want to do what they're doing. I want to get paid and play Halo 3 and be the best, and just being able to like go. And I remember getting to their house, they're watching Entourage TV show. They got food coming. They're cool, and they're just hanging out. And man, the fact that they were like that, what they meant to me was like what Final Boss meant to a lot of people. And the fact that I was out of nowhere able to just be at their house, like landing them before a tournament, what seemed like really fast. And we'll talk about that on another episode. I know Justin, one of our ideas was talking about each of our come ups and stuff, and like some of the significant times in our Halo timeline. But that was definitely one of it. And I won't go into too much detail, but these guys, straight ripping, just nasty team in Halo 3, especially in the earlier stages of competitive Halo 3, and this montage was just disgusting.
Yeah. Do you want to take it, Wes, or you want me to go next?
Yeah. I'll be short, I think. I say that, and I'm not sure how long
I'm pretty sure I said that before I started my rant. I'm pretty sure I said that.
I think straight ripping to me is going to be a lot different than straight ripping to just about anybody else, because straight ripping to me was a major rival. I wouldn't call him a problem.
What the?
How do I say this? You're getting commercial. So straight ripping was full of players on a team that I didn't get along with during my time competing. And they were definitely at the top. They definitely had more success, I would say, than me. But the best part about it is I always got the better of them when we played. And straight ripping was. I don't mean to make this about me. So straight ripping was
Make it about you, Wes.
I never lost to straight ripping.
Talk your ish, brother.
But what I will say is like what this montage did for me was I knew straight ripping, to Faisal's point. I treated straight ripping like they were Final Boss. I treated straight ripping like they were the best players in the game, like they were the best team in the game. It meant my most favorite wins of all time are against Straight Ripping some of the time, like because it meant so much to me to
Yeah.
beat these guys. This montage is just a piece of like
Too
of their
nasty.
skill set and how nasty all four of these guys were. Like they
Legit.
were so good. So to beat these guys, it meant so much to me because I knew how good these guys were. I knew how
Yep.
established these guys were. The prestige that these guys had on their names, let alone like the plays that they're capable of making, like to play against them at tournaments and to have them like it got personal with them like a lot of the time, especially when I'm trying to come up like as a top 12 kid trying to get into the top 8,
Oh my
top 3, win a tournament eventually. Like I'm trying to come up. These guys are major blockers in that come up, and you could tell that they like I don't want to say they viewed me as like a threat, but like they viewed like anybody that they thought was competition, they did not like. And I shared that mindset, right? Like they were animals. And I think they were competitors at to the fullest point. Um, you can't say enough good things about these guys and their stint through Halo 3 because these guys were the most, I would say, consistent throughout all of Halo 3 up until the end. Triggers Down obviously probably belongs in that conversation, and then Roy and Lunch and whatever team those two paired with. But like, I mean, when you went against Straight Rippin', there was like when I played against Straight Rippin', there was a different vibe to the series. There was a different level of like a different level of like seriousness that I would take it as opposed to everyone else because like I wanted to beat them more than anybody. But I mean, we're watching this montage. They
There
were
was some blood.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, and they were just
Yeah.
that group of 4 just worked so well. Like you got T squared, you got Elamite Warrior, you got legit and Snipe Down. You know, that's just like a perfect blend of players. I feel like
that clip is insane. Yeah, I think they had so many things going for them. It was like, and they knew it, right? Like they were on top of the world at the time. They were winning tournaments. They had the sponsors. They were the best looking. They were like they had all that.
T squared was on the bottles and stuff, and
They were so cocky. It was
they were
yeah.
getting they were definitely the poster
The
child for
world was
MLG.
just like handed to them, you know what I mean? And that's not like to say they didn't work for it because they did. They put in the work. I think the thing about this montage though, that it was the best team. It was the best players on the best team at the time putting out a team montage, which you didn't ever see. You would see like an individual Taj. You would see someone, you'd see maybe like you would see a Snipe Down before or something or a dual Taj, but to see like a full team Taj of the best players, to see
the
what they were
team at the time.
Yeah, to see what it looked like from inside their Spartans is just like it was
just nothing but
mind blowing.
In the kill feed, nothing but legends. All like they get, getting overkills and stuff on Final Boss, Instinct, like just the best players.
Beretta.
It was just like it was absolutely nasty, right? And then you think about, like I said, we were talking about their kind of legend. Faisal, I actually had like a similar experience to your whole like first landing with them. It was later on though. In Reach actually. I don't know when you guys remember this, but they did like the Straight Rippin' reunion where it was like the OG squad where they had Neighbor instead of Snipe Down, and they actually put that team together for like a Reach event or two, and we ended up landing them before that event out in Laguna Beach at a buddy of mine's house, Chaser's house, and we landed them before this Reach event. I think it was before Anaheim, and like we would just sit in the hot tub at night, and they would just tell stories, just tell tales of like what it was like back in their day. And bro, like when I tell you they had it all, like these dudes had it all. It did not matter if it was women, money, power. Like they just ran the table with it. Like their MLG event experience was a lot different from ours. Let me just say that right now. And these guys they lived it up, man. So this
they
Taj,
were superstars.
Yeah, they absolutely were in the scene, and for
Go
good
stay
reason.
on me.
Yeah,
get off me, Eric. No. Dude,
Yeah.
Ghost. Shout out to Ghost, man.
But it is super interesting to see all of our different perceptions of them, right? Like me and Faisal, like we viewed him with such like reverence as opposed to Wes, where it's like, dude, I hate these guys and like what they've done, what they stand for Wes. They stand
It
as
was
that
just
wall.
like, to your point, it was just like these guys are like icons, and it was like if I wanted to be like if I wanted to achieve my goals, I had to go through these icons.
And especially like, sorry,
and they
Wes,
took that
go ahead.
personal.
Yeah, no, totally, and especially like I feel like at the time when they were the best of the best was, in my opinion, like maybe like the biggest Halo's ever been. Like when they were winning, I think that's when it was like really anything like Halo related, like on MLG's page, obviously like front page, main stage at tournaments. There, it's big stages for Halo.
2008 was insane.
You know, as far as
Yeah.
team passes go, selling out in minutes. Like this was, I think, when Halo's fandom and just Halo as an esport and it's like was almost arguably at its biggest. So, you know, like I think they did everything so collectively as a unit. Like they would, you know, put out videos of them teasing each other, like Snipe Down joined the team. He's wearing that dress. Remember that? And they pranked him when he joined the team. And they're always doing sponsorship stuff together and tournaments. They're having signings and they're doing giveaways and people are coming to see them standing in line. And, you know, they got, you know, all the sponsorships and stuff. And like Justin was saying, they had all the perks. So, you know, when this montage came out, definitely monumental. And, you know, hold a special place in my heart when it comes to like my Halo 3 memories.
Yeah, we misspoke though. It was edited by Zola. So
Zola, I apologize.
Zola was nasty.
I
I thought it was Snipe Tally as well, so not your fault at all. But yeah, just nothing but greatness on that montage, man. And that's that concludes our segment about this. That was a really fun time though, guys. Lots of that was a trip down memory lane for me for sure. Wes, I don't know about you, but I have to bring up, because you said you never lost a straight. Talk to us really quick about how good it feels to beat T-Squared, because we know like when there's certain people that hate to lose so bad, like when you beat them, it just feels so good.
Yeah. See, like Straight Rip'em was one of those teams that was going to trash talk you, and I was also one of those guys that was going to trash talk you, and we always got into it, man. Whether it was at LANs, whether it was at tournaments, whatnot, like it was very serious, and everybody wanted to win. So there was always some tension going on. And I remember the first time I ever, like, not to go on a big story, but the first time that I ever played Straight Rippin' was the first event in 2009. It's me, Cloud, Demon, and Cypher. We're in winter semifinals, playing for top 3. We go down 2-0, and we reverse sweep them. And in each 3 of the games, I kind of changed the outcome of the games in each 3 games, in a sense. And that was like, whenever someone asked me like what my favorite series was, like that's what I go to. That's like it meant so much that to me, it meant so much that I stepped up at a crucial point against the guys, like the guys holding the championship at the time,
the top dogs.
The icons, not only are they icons, but they're also like the gatekeepers in a sense. Like, it was wild, man. And competing against those guys, like I said, I never got an adrenaline rush similar to the one that I would get when I played against those guys. It just meant more, man. I can't put my finger on why. It would just drive me crazy if I ever lost to those guys. And like, T-Squared will come back with the argument that like, well, I made it so far in tournaments and never played you because you didn't make it as far. But it's like, I played them like 4 or 5 times. So it's like, eventually you think you get one, right? But
I feel like I got mine.
What you trying to say here, Wes? What are you trying to say?
I feel like
never
lost a square.
So are you saying you were better than T-Squared in Halo 3?
I'm saying I was confident when I played him.
Okay,
that's a good politically correct answer, right?
Well, I'm saying I was confident, and the results speak for themselves.
He's got the rings on you, though.
My style, we both have 1 ring.
One national championship ring.
No, not just champs. We're talking about total.
Oh, we're handing out rings for every event now.
What do you mean? They're major tournaments. Like what?
Okay. I didn't know. I don't know how rings work. I didn't know if I didn't know if the Super Bowl champs get rings, or if like every time you win a game on Sunday you get a ring handed to you. I don't know how it works. I'm just saying, when you're playing on a big stage, like I think rings are only given out of championships.
I disagree.
World championships.
I guess. No, I mean, yeah, sure. I guess if you're talking the top of the top, you can't argue like the nationals or like the worlds are the ones that are the biggest ones. But
that's what I think a ring is.
Yeah, but if 2 people have a ring and then one of them has like a whole bunch of,
his accolades blow me out of the water. That's not a conversation to have.
Okay.
But Wes likes the ring conversation because he's deadlocked there.
I would just articulate the way that you're saying that a little bit different, because when you say rings,
No, you're right. You're right
I'll
about
pause you.
that. Yeah. I guess the rings part of it is you're right. You get the ring in championships or in like in worlds or nationals. But
Exactly.
I still consider like trophies, right? Like you win.
Absolutely.
There's
No,
five,
I mean
there's
that
yeah.
Straight Rippin was an icon. Like they were
Mm.
iconic. They were a legendary team. I'm not trying to debate. I was not a legendary player.
You were, I
Okay.
mean, shit. You had your stamp.
I
I
think
think
you were. I
your
wouldn't
name,
sell yourself
your name
short.
is definitely etched in Halo 3's. Like you guys were that team that
It's the shocker
like there's
of
like
the whole
there's like the
game.
triggers down and there's like the straight open. It's like, oh yeah, these are the top. But then there's like that at BTH. Like, god damn it, like you're always ruining everyone's. Like you're there to cry. You're like the Detroit Pistons. You're like y'all were like the bad boy Pistons. Where like you got MJ and the Bulls trying to win, and then you guys come around and like beat MJ or whatever. Like you know what I'm saying, in that sense where. I think you guys had that role in Halo 3's history, and that's definitely being
You
like
guys were
I
the
think
bad
legendary.
boys, the
I mean,
shockers.
I
like you know,
think,
you
I
guys
think that
were.
has like
I'll say it like this. I was a best of 5 away from having 2.
Damn. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. No, we all know we give him a hard time and stuff, but obviously Halo 3 Wes, Clutch is one of the icons himself. Him,
Absolutely.
Cloud, Demon D, Maniac. Those guys literally created a brand. That is BTH, and to this day it's still iconic. So you guys definitely. I mean, you definitely have your name stamped up high in terms of Halo 3's competitive history.
I think we gotta have T Square on the show now. That's all it is.
Dude, we gotta. Yeah, I gotta try to reach out.
He gets salty when I say stuff. It's like I say like little things.
I wonder why.
I mean, like I'm not acknowledging like T Squared, a legend, but I'm not gonna let him just roll me over like he tried to when playing.
Sounds like there's some
right?
We gotta get him on the show because it seems like there's something.
He'll say some. I mean, I'm not gonna stop talking. I always got something to say. So
I'm about it. Yeah, we'll reach out to Tom and see. Tom is over the years. I mean, he went from being a huge icon to me to being a great friend through the years. So I'll definitely reach out.
No, he's a great guy. He's super good person. And
in his old age, and his wisdom,
definitely we all go into a different space when we're competing and like our true like the toxicity comes out. Like you when it comes to just winning, like it's like that mentality. Like I hate losing more than you hate winning, right? Like that's when it comes to the T squared. And the T squared and the clutches, and even I mean, not as much as like a vocal sense, but I think all of us have that in us as competitors. Like that feeling of losing just burns and stings, and sometimes you just gotta let it out, and you gotta say some stuff. And Wes and Gwen Squared are the ones that say stuff. So
they're the outwardly passionate ones, right? Like when the outwardly passionate ones are the ones that finally collide, then it's like okay, now there's gonna be some heat.
We're
involved.
very, very, very similar when it comes to.
So we'll see. We obviously we know all these people that are good friends, and happy that to just see all these people just go on and do a bunch of cool stuff, and when it comes to gaming in general. So we'll see who we can get for you guys. And like I said, tomorrow the plan is to record episode 22, which will release a week from tomorrow. Because that's when Wes is going to be gone and it's holidays. So I'm sure all of us are going to kind of have our schedule is busy. So just keep that in mind whenever that episode does drop. And again, guys, please be sure to leave us comments. We're trying to reach 1,000 subs on YouTube. It's a hard journey. I feel like it's the first time where for me, I know I've done YouTube in the past, like randomly here and there, but this is the first time where I'm imagining for all of us where we're trying to build something like this. And, it's been awesome. You guys have helped us gain traction, and, shout out to HCS and all those guys that are also, putting us on the map. And, we got some good stories. I think we got a great podcast here, and we've been doing it for a while. So, definitely looking forward to continuing it, and going into Infinite, just being y'all's, go-to spot for anything Halo related, anything like that. And just kind of being that consistent, dependable, podcast and show for you guys. So please like the video, comment, subscribe, share, just help us grow and help us achieve our dreams. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap this one up. You can find all of our info. What do y'all think? Should we go around the table for this one, or just tell them our info's in the comments? Info's in the comments. Justin, say bye to the people. Wes, say bye to the people. Until next time, y'all. Peace.